All right, welcome everyone. So I'm Jas and that's Shar, and we are Black Girls Gab. And today we are going to be recapping Matt James' The Bachelor, the last episode, which was episode 4.
Very excited about this one.
Yeah, this one, kind of annoying, but.
Yes. So we jumped into this one right into the second group date from last week that we missed because Sarah took up a lot of the time. She went home. So now we're right into the night portion of that date. Because it just jumped in, I didn't really see anything that was that spectacular to me other than the Chelsea conversation. I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah.
I don't think he romantically likes her, which is totally fine. Like that's fine. Hopefully she does well on Paradise. But I thought the conversation was really sweet and he handled it so cute. He was like, "Well, I don't care. I think you're hot," and that's it. Which I think he does. But it was kind of cute and something that the show definitely never talked about before.
Yeah, I was so glad that she brought that up. I thought it was very cute. I like that he also kissed her. I feel like I just get excited whenever he kisses a Black girl, to be honest. Or just shows a Black girl attention. I just get excited. But yeah, I don't know. This episode also started weird. Like they're really kind of going with like this movie trailer type of look, like in the beginning showing Anna and Victoria talking about like, the foreshadowing. But I also will say in the beginning, before they even showed us clips of their date, I really like Katie and I like how she was the only one who stood up to Victoria, and really just stood up to honestly all the girls and telling them that they were being, inappropriate and how they were speaking about Sarah. And yeah, I'll just end there because I think Victoria did something else after Chelsea got her rose, but I was really excited about that part.
I totally agree with the Katie comment. She is a freaking queen. I love her. Yeah. I feel like she gives me Bachelorette energy, but I don't know if they would pick her.
Yeah, she gives me Becca energy, honestly. Like, it's like, like she's quirky, like a Hannah Brown, but not like as awkward. But she definitely gives I know who I am. This is what I stand for. Not problematic vibes, which I like.
I think a big part of that is she's 29 and she came in with the vibrator thing. Everyone's like, oh, what is she going to do? But all she's done is like stand up for women, be sex positive, shut down the bully Victoria. I think she's done a great job. So I think she'll be like Matt's little bestie, especially since she was the one who came in and gave the info at the end. Obviously, she's not going to win. I don't think they have like a romantic connection, but I think they'll be like very close after the show. I could see them being like really close friends. I thought she was great. Anything else from the group date though? Nothing else.
They didn't show anything. So honestly, like what would we outside of, I will say, was Piper on that group date? Or yes. No? I've been waiting to see a little bit of Piper's connection throughout this entire process, just because I think she gives off that energy that I think he would like, just being like a really bold girl. And Piper got a lot of screen time this episode, so I was happy about that. A lot of screen time.
He did. I think she's climbing up the ranks. She's so cute. I thought they had a sweet little moment. I think him and MJ also had a sweet moment, but she's been getting on my nerves lately.
I know, that was your fave. You said nope.
Not doing it. So that was it for the group date. Then we went right into the cocktail party. This is when everything turned up. So Victoria already started like telling the producers like, oh, I need to pull him first. I need to talk to him, blah, blah. And of course, Piper got to grab him first. She looked, that was when she had her top knot. She looked
so cute.
She is so cute. I think that she's definitely on his radar, like on his mind for sure. I thought I didn't really like her. And who else he was saying like that he was like, oh, I really like her humor. And I was like, Kit. So I was like,
yeah. I mean, they obviously have some type of connection. I don't know. I haven't really seen it, but I mean, again, I got
another friendly one. It's a little bit friendly again. I see him either having that thing where he's going to be telling like 6 of the women he loves them, and then the rest of them, it's all like, oh, be my best friend after the show.
Yeah,
that's what.
Wait, how many women did you just say?
I could see, I mean, he's not really going to say it, but I can see him like having genuine, real feelings for like 6
Yeah.
women. Yeah, I would
Okay.
say like, I
Okay.
hope he says it to one. I hope he doesn't say it to everybody, but I could see him like honestly being Ben Higgins times 3, like real bad. So
Oh, I hope not. I hope
we'll
not.
see.
But I mean, it makes sense. He did come on the show, so
Exactly. Exactly. So then Victoria finally got her time. She was very excited. She was kind of crying. I forget what she was even crying, but it didn't even matter.
you know
I
what?
forgot.
She tends to, at least from all the one-on-ones that I've seen her have with Matt, she tends to like talk to him about her insecurities. And it's so unusual because I think that obviously she's a very insecure girl. She shows it in how she reacts to things, she shows in how she portrays herself and how she communicates with other people. And then when Katie mentioned that to her, she was like, I'm not. So I'm like, but you constantly talk about your insecurities with Matt in hopes to get some type of validation, that he likes you or that he understands who you are because you have these insecurities. And he appreciates the open and honest communication. But like, that's it, boo. He doesn't actually like,
She was the one, if you remember, in that week where a few girls asked if they could kiss him. She was like the first one, and she asked if she could kiss him, and he said, sure. Like,
yeah.
he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Like a lot of people are trying to say that she's like a producer plant or industry, like an actress. I just think that she came on the show with an agenda, and she's like, I'm just gonna act crazy, and then this is it. But I think she's wildly insecure.
Yeah.
Clearly, Matt does not like her, but hopefully she only is here for one more week, and then we're done with her. I hope. But then Chris
Mm.
Harrison comes and interrupts Victoria's time with Matt and
I loved
says,
it.
"You need to get up right now." And I was like, oh, "He's business. What's happening?"
Oh,
And I love that
jeez.
all the girls thought it was about Sarah. I thought that was so funny. They all thought it was Sarah
Yeah.
coming. So
Yeah. Yeah. I was so happy that Chris Harrison interrupted her. And I guess before that, I also have that Victoria confronted Katie during this time. And that's when she asked her, they were doing all this name calling, which I hate. Like, I don't understand how she and Anna continue to do that. And they're even letting them do that on camera. I just think that's really odd. But also, what happened? Victoria goes and says, I didn't like when you shut me down. What? She's expecting Katie to give her an apology. And she tells her that what she didn't like about the conversation is that she shut her down. Like, who has conversations like that? And I also don't think
what type of apology did she really want from Katie? Honestly,
that she was going to get. Yeah, it just didn't make any sense. And I don't think that she's a producer plan. I think that she's someone who the producers are telling Matt to stay on and keep taking off people who he definitely doesn't have vibes with or a connection with. But I don't think she's an actress. I don't think she'd be good enough to be an actress. And I just think that she's just one of these regular degular insecure girls who just is what's the word, delusional, and just thinks
yes.
things are about them. I mean, honestly, it's just some like
She gives me the
typical.
vibe of like, when parents call their like little girl princess, like, oh, you're a princess, and they let it go on like too long, and now she's 12 and they're still calling her princess, and now she's like has this weird jaded perception, and now she's
Yeah.
17 wearing a prom and doing all like that's what she's giving me. And now I think she's 27 and
Yeah, she's
acting like a child.
older.
She's older.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. So when Chris interrupted her, I love that. When Katie looked at her like she was crazy for an apology, I love that too. Like, please, I'm not giving
Yeah.
you any of this. So when Chris pulled Matt and they're at the front, Matt's face, like nothing was registering. It was like,
Yeah, he
okay,
was not getting it.
there was this record number of applicants. He's still like, nothing.
Yeah.
Women really wanted to meet you. Nothing. So we have more women coming. Then his eyes like explode. They're like, oh my God, like what's happening? And then the limo just came and he was like, oh my God, what do I do? I
He
think
was
he
not
was
ready.
honestly freaked out, like not expecting it because nobody ever had it other than Tasha, and he wouldn't have seen that season.
Right.
So it was like, how would he ever think that was going to happen? Nobody could have prepared him for that.
Yeah, he was so surprised. He had to like readjust his suit, get his life together. But yeah, he definitely didn't understand it. But honestly,
No.
I don't know if other people would have picked up on that either. I mean, just because he's so new to the franchise, it's probably like, I don't know what's going on. And if you, even if you've watched other seasons, you're not going to think that that's something that they're going to do, you know? So I don't know. Yeah, it was funny. But
I
uh
I think he assumed I think he assumed because he is the most fish out of water bachelor that they would
mhm,
have gave him a very standard bachelor
yeah.
season, and they basically gave him the opposite. They're like throwing all this crazy stuff at him, so it was interesting. But then we got the new girls. The first one was Brittany, and this
Mm-hmm.
was a very beautiful dress on. I loved her dress, but I didn't like the make. I never liked that, and it just seems so like aggressive. He did say he liked it later, so maybe it's okay, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
love that. I thought she was very cute, and
Yeah.
how about her?
Yeah, she's cute. I like her confidence. Hey, if you could do that and feel confident, just like Kaylee, although she left, she came out in lingerie. Like if that's you and you're confident, be confident and do it. But not my cup of
I
tea.
I agree. And then we got Kim. She's the one who went home, the only
So
one that went home.
cute.
Adorable, my
Yeah,
God.
she was
So,
so cute.
and we had Ryan, who I think she's gonna kind of fade to the background. She
Yeah, looks
seems
like
nice.
Serena P's older sister.
Literally, if you told
Yeah,
me that was sister or cousin, I'd be like, okay, yeah.
yeah,
And got our shining star Michelle, who is
yeah,
we'll get to her later, but
yeah,
wow, wow.
yeah.
And then the last one, I forgot.
The pageant queen.
Yes, Catalina. Catalina was the last one. She was the last one to come in, and that was the one that Victoria took her crown off. I would have stood up and
Oh,
told Victoria, "You need to give that back to her,"
it would have
because that
been.
was. And I heard people like down low saying Victoria. Like I
Yeah,
heard some people saying that, so I know people were disgusted. But it's like, and I know it's shocking for them, but it's like, come on, you're taking things off of her head, and she didn't say anything. I'm like,
she
I mean,
didn't.
I guess she's poised and she's a pageant girl, but I'm like, you could have said something, but
Listen, I told what we said before. Victoria knows or thinks she knows the type of girl she could do that to. All of these
100%.
bully girls, that's all they do. They fight or they try to get the girls upset who they feel can't take it or won't stand up for themselves. Let me tell you something. If that were me, if that were you, if that were Chelsea, if that were Lauren, if that were Kayla, honestly, if that were even Bree, it would have been a whole different story. But she's not going to try any of those girls. And I just wish that some of these other girls, even Mari, right? Mari seems like she would have been like, fuck, you know? But I just wish that she would actually try somebody who would try her back because, baby, listen, I was so upset. I was so upset. I just couldn't believe she just stood there. Oh, I would have. Nope.
I she was probably thinking about, honestly, all I can think of is that she's a pageant girl and she's poised, and maybe she was thinking of, I don't want to look like the confrontational girl on TV. Maybe. I don't care at that point. You now touched my head and you're
Yep.
taking no, like that's not gonna fly. So you're right. She knows who to kind of mess with and who she doesn't, because she hasn't messed with one black girl there yet, or anybody who looked like they have spice to them at all, like Mari. Mari would have slapped her in the face. Literally would
Yep.
have slapped her. So
Yeah.
she knows
And she's a
she's
pageant girl. She's a pageant girl
yeah,
too, but she wouldn't have done
yeah,
that. And honestly, it was so bold for her to even do that to Catalina herself. Like, you don't know her. You
no,
just and she was nice. She came in like, hi, introduced. You don't know that girl. So for you to do stuff, you know what? That reminds me of you know what? I'm getting upset now because that really pissed me off. And that reminded me of some stuff that like these Karens out here would do because they don't know who they're stepping to. And then they're all of a sudden try to act funny, thinking that you're just one of these regular folks who won't say anything. And
no.
all she's to do is catch the right one. I swear, catch the right one and you'll have a whole different outlook on what it means to be a bully. And she pissed me off. Oh
Yes.
man.
That's my main reason. That's my main reason why I think she's leaving probably the next episode,
She has
because
to.
eventually one of these girls are going to slap her or they're going to do something. Like right now they can kind of tolerate it because they don't, and I'm sure Chelsea and all of them are over there saying, well, she's not saying nothing to me, let her, the second she says something to me, it's going to be, and they're not. So she can't stay much longer than that. I'm freaking over her, seriously. I thought she was going home that this rose ceremony, but she didn't, which I was like, but to be fair, he only sent, they brought in 5 more people, so it went up to 23 and he only sent home 3, so now we're down to 20. So he only sent home 3. The 3 he sent home were
Kayla. I know, that pissed me off. Instead of Queen Victoria, that's how you know he was just like, it's not there. Because the fact, I mean, at this point, we can see who at least his top 5 are. At least I felt that before Michelle came in.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if we can feel who his top 5 are, he's probably just like, I know who my top 10 girls will be if it continues to progress the way it is. Now let's add Piper to the mix. Now let's add Chelsea to the mix. Maybe yes or no to Lauren, depending on how she continues to have connections with him. But he knows. So, but it's just so upsetting that he, obviously he wasn't able to connect with her and kept somebody who obviously was going to stir drama and be there for TV reasons.
Very true. But remember what I said, which Nick said this like a long time ago, and I remember this. They basically let you pick, like, let's say right now it was 23. So he probably picked 15 girls that he feels the strongest for, which, to be fair, he probably liked 15 girls. The rest of these girls, like Kayla, if it wasn't there, it just wasn't there. So then the producers pick who they want. That's kind of how it goes. Until you get to like 10. And when you get to 10, you kind of make all your decisions. So it's not like they're choosing for you, but it's like, hey, who do you really want? Then you get to keep whoever you really want. And then he didn't want Kayla, because if he wanted her, she would have stayed.
Yeah, she would have been there.
It sucks. I mean, I hate Victoria. I would love to see Kayla more than Victoria. Hopefully we'll see her on Paradise or something. I mean, there's so many girls. I don't know who we're going to see. But it just feels like, to me, like Victoria is the leader of the insecure group. And I can't, and I think that, because right now we're at 20, I feel like within the next week or 2, there's going to be like a mass, like 7 people.
There should be.
Like, if you were part of the Victoria, Anna, Serena, C, MJ, that group, you must leave.
You're out.
And also all the girls who are part of it, which is funny too, none of them have anything to do with how Matt likes all the girls that have nothing to do with this. It's all the girls who he doesn't even care about. So he can send them packing. I have a feeling he's going to be like, oh, who are your friends, Victoria, Anna, blah, blah, all of y'all go. And I'm
he's too nice. He's too nice to do that. But I mean, honestly, you're right. I was thinking the same thing as you were listening to them. It's Serena C, it's Anna, it's MJ. Piper was in it a little bit, but he likes Piper, and so I'm hoping that she stays out of it.
Piper had a little redeeming quality. I don't know if you heard her, but when she was with, they called themselves the OGs. Oh my God.
Yeah, at the end.
At the boxing date, she was like, I will admit I was a little nasty to those girls. Understood at least. I mean, I'm not saying she should be proud of it. She doesn't sound like she's proud of it, but like she at least understood what was going on. Someone like MJ, I don't think she gets it. I think she just thinks like, we're the OGs. OGs of what? This is week 4. So you've been there for probably in Bachelor days 2 weeks, and you're OGs because you got, all that means is you got casted before you didn't win a prize to get here earlier than anybody else at all. So yeah, all of that I hated. But yes, those 3 went home. That was sad. I have a note here that Mari looked so upset since the girls walked in. Mari, I think, is having like a fit. I think
she was very upset.
I think in Mari's mind, and we haven't seen a lot of her and Matt, but I think she thinks that their connection is very, very good. We haven't seen too much of it, so I don't think it is, but I think she is the person who really thinks like, hey, this could be my husband, and all these new girls are coming in here. And she was the one who referred to them as shiny new things, where it's like, firstly, you're all shiny and new technically, because you've all 2 weeks. That's the first thing. Right. But that was kind of weird. That was weird. Anything else about the rose ceremony?
Oh, man, other than it, I was just annoyed at that whole thing. I didn't like how they kept calling them sluts, whores, slore, like just so inappropriate. I just couldn't believe that this was coming out of other women's mouth about women who literally are doing the same thing that you did 3 weeks ago. Like,
they signed up for the same show.
They didn't do anything different. And you know what? Also, just really, this is just one of the reasons why I really have difficulty watching the show when the lead is like a little bit younger, or at least has girls that are a little bit younger, because they act like this. Like
Yes.
I struggled during Hannah Brown's season. I struggled during Peter's season, not just due to the lack of diversity on the screen, but because of how young that they actually were and how they were acting and how the guys were acting, how the women were acting. Even like Colton's season a little bit, I was just having difficulty. And I would rather watch a season like Tayshia's, like Claire's, if she were to act right. Andy's at the time, Caitlin's, because they, even Becca's, right? And she was 28 at the time, I think. But she just had a whole different demeanor. And the guys who were on her season were, to me, they felt a lot different than some other guys. And it's just pissing me off. This just reminds me that like I just wish they would cast a little bit older.
That's very true. And I thought, and again, I didn't think we were going to get all 28-year-olds, but I was shocked when I'm looking and I'm like, wow, Serena, and I love 22. But to be fair, a lot of the girls who were acting a fool, they're a little older. Victoria is 27. I don't know, but
that's a good point.
How, because of course, nobody other than the Tayshia season has had new people come in. But look how the guys reacted to those guys coming in. Yeah, for a second, they were a little weird because Spencer like had a lot of mouth. But then nobody gave a shit. They were like, okay, you're here, and that's it. Like, you could just tell they were adults, and these women are like, we're now the OGs because we've been here for 2 weeks longer than you. Like, where is this entitlement? It's like, it's very mob. Somebody said it was Katie. I think she was mob. Like, it's very much like one person says that they're newbies and sluts and hoes. Everybody's like, yeah, they are sluts and hoes. It's like, wait, like, where is this? This is very inappropriate. I didn't like it. Even with the Sarah stuff last week, which, I had my fair share of criticism with Sarah, but the way they bullied that girl, it was ridiculous. And it just seemed like one person said something, and then especially that Serena C, she just needs one person to pop off, and the next thing you know, she's calling her manipulative, she's this, she's that. It's like, where is this coming from? It just seems like so many girls like from high school just put into the group. So didn't love that. But that was all I had.
Yeah, that crap. Ooh, have I been cursing during this? Oh Lord, I feel like I just probably started cursing. Oh, okay, Lord, because I was just about to start cursing. But yeah, that was that was terrible. But I also so when I saw Michelle and that's like interaction, I was like, oh, he lit up, which was different because he doesn't do that. And I feel like the only other person he might have, who did he light? I don't even remember. I think he probably lit up for like Mari, which is why she was in your top like early on. But he like really lit up for her, which I think was great. You know how I feel about couples that are like stark height differences. So the fact that they are like perfect height, they just look good together. She has a great smile. She seems normal, happy. I just loved it. I was like, oh.
I kind of love that they saved her for the second group, because I feel like they found her and they said, oh, like you, because she just already looks like somebody who's extra special. Like everything about her is just extra special. They're like, you know what? We'll wait with you because he'll like you. So we're going to wait. I love that she came in with the second group. She just crazy to see her compared to the other four that came. Like, he was just like, whoa. And then you'll see later they have all these connections and all this amazing stuff. But it was like, wow. So, okay. So then we get to the next day. They announce the group date. I have all the names of the people who got on the date. So that was Mari. Okay. Mari, Bree, Abigail, Brittany, Ryan, and Catalina. So all three of the new girls, Maggie, Anna, and Victoria. So as soon as 3 out of the 4 got it, I was like, oh, our girl is getting the one-on-one, which was so exciting. We're like, this is going to be great. But this was the date where Ben Higgins came. So that was very exciting to see. I am hoping that they had a longer conversation than what we saw. I assume that they did, because even Rachel said with her and Tayshia, she said that she talked to Tayshia for like 3 or 4 hours or something. So I assume that they talked for a long time, and I hope that he got some insights from Ben, because I think he came at a perfect time for me. I feel like he came at a time where he really needed it. Yes. But I actually thought the idea for the date was cute. I mean, I thought the lake thing was kind of cool. It was like, oh, here's this very fall vibes thing, getting this pumpkin, and I thought it was a cute little thing. I forget who won the date.
Mari. So also, I thought the vibe was great. I thought it was really cool as well. I don't know how people were kayaking in pumpkins. That's interesting. Poor Maggie. She was struggling during the whole time. That would have been me. I would have been like, I don't know. I'm just going to sit here, look at the sky, relax, maybe meditate. But Mari's been kicking butt in these challenges. And it's great for her. She's a pageant girl. She's repping for the pageant girls who people think are very dainty. She's just so athletic. So shout out to her. But in my head, I'm also like, this is interesting because she's won 2 different dates. She's been on, like, in terms of the group dates, for people who haven't had one-on-ones, probably the most because she's been winning these challenges, and we don't see a lot of their connection. So I'm thinking she's definitely going to be going soon. Definitely, probably like after they get rid of the mean girl mob. But we're not seeing much of their connection, but they're getting a lot of time. So it's probably over for her. And I mean, sad about it, but what can you do?
I really think she will be the first woman who leaves who's very blindsided by the decision. He's going to be so confused because that girl thinks that's her boyfriend. She does. I feel like she thinks like that she's where Rachel is, if that makes sense. Because Rachel hasn't had a one-on-one, but clearly he really likes her.
It's a connection.
I think that Mari thinks she's in a Rachel spot. Like, oh, I haven't gotten a thing yet, but like, no, she's not getting any group date roses. So she's not getting any validation. Rachel at least got 1 group date rose. She's not getting any group date rose. We don't see any of their conversation. The last conversation we saw was about when she was Puerto Rican, and then he asked about the hurricanes. That was night 1.
Yeah, that was night 1. And Bree has had 2 group date roses. No, she just got one, but obviously she had a one-on-one. So the fact, I mean, she's getting a lot of validation. Good for her.
I was shocked when he gave her the group date rose, because I was like, what? Because she didn't. A lot of times it's like, because that first spot, the first person who gets the one-on-one, it is tough. Of like, okay, but she doesn't seem like the person who needs so much validation. But I think, honestly, I think a lot of it is probably like, oh, like my other favorite person, Sarah, has left, and maybe she didn't have enough validation. So let me not, because I feel like Brie is the type of person where you could feel a little bit scared. I don't think she's gonna leave, but she has a vibe of like, hey, I could be here, I could be anywhere. Like I don't have to be here. So maybe he's like, let me just give her validation that I won her here. And because I was kind of surprised that she got it. I think they're so cute, but I was a little shocked. But other than that, the squirrel thing was funny. Anna said this was like our first nugget when Anna's like, oh, I hid Brittany's acorn. But I'm like, how old are you? I forget how old Anna is, but I'm like, she's a child. Like, she is so, I just feel like she was the girl who begged to be popular in high school and she never got it. And now she's just like, she got a little bit of a best friend in Victoria, who's also a mean girl. So it's like, oh, like, let's just have weird. So I didn't like that at all.
Yeah. Or the opposite. She was a popular girl in high school, and then, you know, because those girls like that were popular in high school and then they don't get a lot of looks or whatever in college, and they're just constantly trying to, like, you know, be the person that they were, that type of thing. Yeah, they're just so rude. I just can't believe, like, you see the type of girl Victoria is. She doesn't try to hide it, but the fact that now that's your girl and you're talking crap about other women with her, that should be a red flag. Like, I don't think that I'm, you know, doing this right. Or maybe, you know, people will, like, even if you don't care, I would still think that I would be like, I don't want other people or like my family to associate me and my character with someone like her, because it's very apparent as to who she is, but you know, it's not really apparent to who I am. But for her to constantly be like partnering with her, they're automatically going to be, you know, the duo. And I just think it's so inappropriate. She really just was pissing me off the whole time, to be honest. Such haters.
So that's so true, because obviously, like, they don't know how the show is going to get edited. So I think a lot of things can be like not on this season, but like on a season like Tayshia, I feel like they probably left that season having like not really having a clue who was going to be like a villain other than Bennett, which was stupid. But like, you know, things. But this one, like, you clearly know without editing, Victoria is going to be deemed as the villain because she's right here acting like an idiot. So if you associate yourself with her, you're going to be idiot number 2. And it just seems like Anna doesn't care, because also she has that thing, because even as soon as Brittany walked into the rose ceremony, she was so eager to be like, oh, I have this piece of information about this girl, which I always hate people like that, which firstly, you don't have any information. Let's start right there. She said, oh, well, she's from Chicago, but I don't know her. Okay, so which one is it? Do you know her or do you not know her? She kept saying she doesn't know her, but you know she's an escort. So where
People
do you
keep
know?
people kept messaging me and saying if this girl comes on, because she knows a lot of rich men. Here's the thing. If you are a beautiful woman and you live in a, whether even if it's a small town or a large town, if you are a beautiful person, men are going to be attracted
Yes.
to you. If you go out and you're a beautiful person, you're going to be seen. So more men are going to see you. And at the end of the day, if you want to be seen, you're going to be at places where men, probably rich men, are going to be if that's who you want to attract. So I don't think it's crazy that Brittany was around rich men. If anything, you might be doing it wrong. So get some notes from Brittany. Such a hater. And if she is an escort, that's her business. Like, come on. So, for me, listen, you gotta do what you gotta do in order to get paid. If you're a sex
100.
worker, go do what you gotta do. That's your business. If you like it, I love it.
But it's her, and it's
It's
her.
her business.
If she wanted to share that, again, she's saying she's not, so I'm taking it for her word that she's not. So
Yeah.
let's just. But even if she was, that's her business to tell Matt, to tell the cameras, to all these things. If I was on The Bachelor and some girl walked in who we knew from college, that I knew that they were like a sugar baby, or I am never going to tell anyone that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, because you're always mic'd. So even if you go to tell your best friend, they're picking up on it. Like, you can't do that. It's just so. It was so inappropriate to me that they live in freaking Chicago. Who knows? Maybe she's a bottle girl, and like
Right.
a lot. She could be anything, or like work at like a really fancy bar, like she's
A
a fancy bar
restaurant. Yep.
cocktail waitress. She could be anything, and maybe she's had a rich boyfriend or two. Like, that's her business. It just seems so like, I hate her because she's prettier than me and I want to be her, and maybe
She
like
kissed Matt. I haven't even kissed Matt. She kissed him on the first day. So now she's a slore. It's like, oh my God. What are we, 12,
also
16?
when is the last time someone said the word slur? I don't
I
think I've heard
know.
it since 10.
Right. Yeah. It didn't make any sense.
It was gross. We'll get to her a little bit more later. But let's see. Oh, while they were on the date, they did go back to the house, and we saw that Michelle got announced as the one-on-one. And the
Yes.
girls were pissed off. They were so mad because now, and Victoria and Anna aren't even there because they're at the other date. So they're not, this is the other group. This is like, maybe this is
This is all
Serene.
the OGs and Michelle. Yes.
Yes.
I think, right?
Yes. So
Serena.
they're,
Yeah. Serena P. Yeah. I think, yeah.
yes, they were all there, and they were not happy for it. And honestly, all Michelle said was, well, I'm excited. I'm excited to spend time with him. We had a good conversation yesterday. They didn't like any of that. But it was like,
Nope.
get over it. I knew she was gonna get it. As soon as the other three got to go on that group date, I'm like, oh, they're gonna let her go. And I was so, so excited for her.
Yeah. Honestly, when she walked out of the limo and I saw how they connected, I was like, oh, she might get the next one, which is going to cause some issues. And then when I saw them have their little one-on-one and they were just talking, I'm like, she might get it. She might get it and they're going to be pissed. And then just like you said, when her name wasn't called, I was like, oh, she got it. She had to have gotten it because obviously she's new. He probably wants her to catch up or to get to know her a little bit better. That's exactly what he did. And I was happy. I could not stand how, they were reacting to her, but I think she was a class act and she just, it is what it is. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the same thing as y'all. I got to catch up. See ya.
Exactly. So then after that, we went back to the group date, and this is where at the end, I forget who even got. Oh, Brie got the rose, very sweet,
Right.
whatever. And then Matt left, and Anna was like, "Oh, Brittany, I want to talk to you." So when she first said that, I thought it was the two of them in the room. They were all there. Everyone from the group date was there. She's now asking her like, "Oh, I know this piece of information about you. Are you an escort?" And Brittany's looking at
Mm.
her like, this is literally Brittany's second day. The night before she was at the rose ceremony. It's her second day, and you're getting confronted. And only Anna was really. Oh, I guess Victoria was jumping into. So it wasn't like a big ambush, but it was like, why are you
Yeah.
talking to all these girls? Why are you asking me this ridiculous question? Because if it's not true, that's a crazy thing to insinuate that someone is an escort, or as she says, a transactional relationship with men. I mean,
We
what?
all can read the lines. We all can read between the lines, sis. Good gosh.
I just hated that. And at the end of the conversation, she's like, well, I really appreciate the chat. I was like, what the hell? Like, what? That wasn't a chat. That was you just trying to attack some girl for her possible profession, which was not even her profession. But I didn't. Anna is like falling lower and lower for me. Like, I didn't like her last week too much with the Sarah stuff, but it wasn't that bad. Like, it was like okay. But this week, it's like I don't know how she's climbing out of this hole. No clue. I just think
she's definitely leaving. She has to leave, and I hope that Matt picks up that Victoria, even though he doesn't like her, I hope that he finally is able to connect the dots on camera. And he's like, okay, well, Victoria is obviously causing these issues. If she's now with Anna doing something like this, right? And so now I need to get rid of both of them and not just Anna, you know, because it's ridiculous. But yeah, that really pissed me off.
I agree. And I will say in Matt's defense, like this is his when at the end of the episode when Katie comes to him, this is really will be his first time hearing that something's happening in the house. Like it's not like
second.
Who else said something?
Because with the Victoria told him about Marilyn.
Okay. Yes, that's very true. And look what he did. And then look, she went home. So okay,
and
fine.
She went home, yeah.
So all he really knows is that Victoria's insecure and that Victoria has basically, in Victoria's mind, sent a girl home. Victoria thinks she sent two people home. She thinks she sent Marilyn home, and she thinks she told Sarah to go home. So now, like, I don't know, Catalina's her next person, and she's like, I'm gonna, or Brittany or whoever, but it's like, so I think that's what he thinks of her. She was like this sad girl who always has a freaking crown on and her bra out, and that's it. But like,
he doesn't
he doesn't know that she's like out here truly bullying. The amount of times she said the word hoe in this episode,
it was ridiculous.
I think she called Catalina the dumbest hoe she's ever met. I was like, what? It was so
crazy. I cannot stand girls like that who bring down other women because they are so insecure. That's literally the worst thing. I appreciate Katie for speaking up. I think there was someone else who spoke up. I keep writing Michelle. Oh, Michelle. Okay, so I think Michelle spoke up. Like before she got the date, I think she spoke up about them bullying and about the mob. She did something, but I did write how I was happy that she spoke up. Wrote how they were haters. And yeah, wait, did we go Pat? Did we already start talking about the group date, or are we just going to skip? Because I have some notes about the group date.
Yeah, go ahead with the group date. We're still on it.
Well, I think that, so I was happy to see that Brie and Matt were good. So obviously she got her rose. She's still in my top 3, but I don't see her winning. I don't see her being 2 or 1. There's just something about it. I think that they like each other, but I don't know how deep they're actually going to be able to go. I have in my notes, I need someone to slap Victoria. get her out the house. And I also could tell Lauren was over it. Her facial expressions, they kept panning to Lauren, and she was just like so over it. Oh my gosh, it was actually.
I love her personality so much because it's like this quietness, but like her looks can kill. And I just feel like she's somebody who would definitely say no to Paris. I feel like she would not like to go there. I don't think she would, like, we'll see, but I feel like we're never gonna see it, and that's gonna be really upsetting. Like she's gonna go back to her normal life, but it's like she's out here like in the cut, like not dealing with any of it. She's like, I can't deal with you people. It's just, and I'm also so curious to see like who is roommates with who. I can't wait till like the end of this. All I know right now is that Abigail's roommate was Maggie. They were roommates.
Oh, okay.
But like I'm curious to know like how those like who was Victoria's. Oh, it was Marilyn, and then she kicked her out. So now she has a room to herself. It's crazy, but yeah, that was all I have for the group day.
No, I think that's. One quick question, because this is, I think, they were just getting really sloppy, I think, with the editing, because I was just so confused. What did Mari win? They said whoever wins the thing is going to get something. What did she get? And if she got anything, we didn't see it, so that's why I think she's about to go home.
Let me tell you something. On the date where they wore the wedding dresses, where Mari also won, she got a trophy. On this date, when she won, Chris Harrison gave her a trophy that was nuts, and he said, "These are your nuts." Remember?
Oh, I didn't. I thought
I thought she was going to get something else. I mean, I thought
Yeah,
that was a
special
joke.
time.
Maybe she got special time. I think that she's might be getting time, and we don't even get to see their one-on-one conversation. So I
No.
just not there, and that's it. Like maybe
Yeah.
she got a little time, but I think they're just cutting it. But they should have also cut Ben Higgins saying you're getting this special prize, because where's the special prize?
Where was this?
Where is it? I know it's not the freaking nut trophy. That's just ridiculous, but maybe, who knows? But that was funny. I think that she's really out here thinking like she's top dog. I honestly, and I love her. She doesn't have a bad attitude or anything, but I just think her perception is very off from what's actually happening, which I kind of feel bad. But like we haven't even seen them kiss. Maybe they have, but like we haven't seen any of that. So
Anything,
like,
yeah. She's going home because even you could tell by I mean, we've watched the show for years, but you can tell by how they edit things, by the music that they played when Michelle came out the limo versus what they played for Brittany or the other girls. And then you can also tell like the fact that we're seeing so much of Rachel, but Rachel hasn't gotten not one one-on-one or one any date yet. I mean, really, if it was Mari who was going to be in the top or who we actually had a connection with, we'd be seeing so much more Mari, but it's not. So, I mean, I think it's just over for her, to be honest. Sorry for that girl.
100%. He was somebody who just had a killer night one. Her night one was really, really good. She was the one where he literally, his eyes bulged out of his head when he saw her. He was like watching her walk up the steps when he let, like, it was a big night. And then she had that nice conversation about the hurricanes and stuff. So she had a great night one and just fell flat for me after that. But that was it.
Yeah.
Then we are starting the one-on-one date. This is now one-on-one date time. Oh gosh, I was just, and it must have been a really nice day because she was in a tank top, he was in a t-shirt. So I was like, oh, it must have been a warmer fall day. The whole thing, I mean, just talk about a perfect first date. That was a perfect first date on like the best day ever. It just seemed like they were so excited to see each other, so comfortable right off the bat. Like this was by far my favorite one-on-one. And what I said about Brie with how he was so comfortable at first, I agree. I think he was way more comfortable with Michelle than anybody else. Like Serena, all these people. I just feel like the first date, this girl is 100% in the top four. 100% she's there. I guess I had Kayla in there so she can get kicked out, but it just seemed like they connected so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, who else? Who would I have in the top? So my top three were, I had Rachel as one, I had nobody at two, and I had Brie at three. And then I still think that Abigail is going to be five. She's going to go home. I think that Serena, because she talked about her dad not liking or not believing in this experiment, I think she's going to go home before hometowns. I think that was a complete foreshadowing on the production part. Kind of getting Matt prepared for the fact that Serena's dad doesn't want her to be on the show. So honestly, unless like, unfortunately, I don't see, I mean, I guess I could see Lauren in there, but I don't see her as being two. I mean, honestly, I think 2 and 3 is between Brie and Michelle. It has to be. You're right. He was so connected to her, more so than he was with Brie. If Michelle doesn't win it, she's number 2. I just need to see how he's engaging with Rachel.
I need a one-on-one with Rachel ASAP, but I have a feeling it's going to be like a Ben situation where he's going to save her till the end, or like something where we're not going to see it for a couple weeks. I hope that we get to see it soon because I think that it'll be strong. But we'll see. I just thought the whole date was great. What else?
It was so cute.
So goofy, like little jokes. Like when they got to the end of the zip line, they were joking to the camera. It was just so, it was like, it was best friends, but not. It was like, but I'm also obsessed with you and I want to make out with you. It wasn't like a Katie vibe or anything like that. It was like real sparks flying, but I'm so comfortable with you, which later in the night portion, we saw why, because she's a teacher, he loves kids, they love everything was connecting. They want to talk about real life issues. It was just great. And and I think she's from Minnesota. That's why I think that's why she brought up
Yep. I was so happy that she brought that up and that she brought up how that, how being a teacher during that time and being there for their students of color. I don't know how she identifies, but I think that regardless of how you identify, you have to bring that up if you are in a state where all this stuff was happening this summer. So I think it was fantastic. I applaud her for bringing that up. I think it was so cute how they were able to connect on helping people. It was almost like finishing her statement about like the access gap and achievement gap. And obviously they have very similar values. I just loved it. I thought it was so cute. They want 3 kids,
Oh,
which was
that was a
so
cute
cute.
moment when they said that. And they like both just looked at each other like, wait, like it was like one of those light bulb moments, like, wait, is this my person? Did I just figure this out? That's what it looked like to me when Matt's face, as soon as they both said 3, he just looked at her like, wait,
He
I think
did.
something. Which must be nuts because it's kind of like the equivalent of Bree's date. Like it was the next day. Like this is the next day after he met her. And it's like all this stuff is clicking. It must feel a little bit like overwhelming, but this girl, she's going straight to the top.
Yeah,
She's
she is. Oh, I hope she wins. I hope she wins, but I don't know. I don't. Oh man, I need to see Rachel's one-on-one. I got my top 3. You
I
can
think
just tell.
yeah, Rachel's gonna come in and she's gonna be sweeping. Again, I'm not saying she's gonna win right now. Right now, she's my winner pick. But like
Yeah,
I think she's gonna come in hot and he's just gonna be obsessed with her. I honestly
yeah,
and I'm worried about it, but I just
yeah.
feel like
Me
it's
too.
those puppy dog eyes, like I'm so obsessed with you. But this was like you have this real thing, plus you guys are goofy, plus like I hope he just keeps it in consideration. They were great. And like you said, the height thing. I love the height thing.
Yes.
Yes, I love they're both athletes. They have so
Hmm.
much in common. I loved
So
it.
much in common. And you know what? When I was watching, I feel like him and Bree, they're very touchy feely, but they just seem really comfortable with each other. And the same thing with Michelle, but I think it's not as like physical. It still is physical, but it's not as physical, and it's also like that friendship vibe, which I think is good. Um, and I think that I mean, she's definitely a competitor. So
Yeah.
I don't know what Rachel's going to have. Maybe she'll have more of like the more of a sexual connection with him. Um, but I don't know. I can't see what's missing.
Me neither.
So
Me neither. The only like the Rachel thing, and it's crazy because we haven't seen that much. I just have a strong feeling. I don't know if you
yeah.
remember Colton and Cassie's first date, or I don't even
Ugh.
know if it was first date, but they were somewhere where it was an ocean, and they were literally just in the ocean
Just
making out.
staring. Yeah.
They didn't talk about anything, but he was like, "Oh, I know, and I'm obsessed with her," and it's like, what? But he did.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's going to be that type of thing where it's like, remember the substance and all this. But I think, and I'm not saying that Rachel doesn't have substance. We'll see, but it just seems like they're going to be like so instantly like connected, and he's going to be like
Yeah.
fine and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So
And that's what I worry about because I feel like it might end up being like a huge sexual connection, which is why I mentioned that he may feel more towards Rachel than like a Michelle. But maybe his values are more similar to a Michelle, right? And I keep thinking of his like Colton and Cassie, like a Ari and Lauren or Ben and Lauren, like that type of thing where you barely saw them talk on screen, but all of a sudden it was like, this is a person for me. I'm like, wait, what? Like, how did this happen? And that's what I get. And that's why I'm like, she has to be the winner because of how I've watched the show and how it happens. But in no way do I think that would be the perfect person for him yet. I just need to see that one-on-one.
Michelle is currently in my number 2 spot.
Yeah, same.
Bree has moved to my number 3 spot. And number 4, I got Abigail or Serena could pop her head in there. That's
I
it.
got I got Serena P. I got Serena. She's getting a hometown. They're setting it up. I'm pretty sure that's why they said it. They're setting it up.
But also look at Abigail's story. Abigail has a huge story with her sister who's also deaf and all this stuff.
Mm-mm.
That's a big story.
Yeah, but I don't think
I
he's going
but
to meet her family.
I will say that if next week comes and we don't get some special attention to Abigail, I think she's dead in the water. I don't know because I think first
Mm.
impression roles they kind of let people go for a little bit, but now it's been like a few weeks. We need to see a little bit more with Abigail, and if we don't, I could see her leaving at like 8. But I don't think that's
Mm.
going to happen. I think we'll see something. I think next week either Rachel or Abigail gets a one-on-one. I would assume.
Yeah, I can't see who else would get it who's like in the top who hasn't received it yet. It would have to be Rachel or Abigail because everybody else got one who's in our top 5. Unless it's like Lauren. I mean, after 5, I don't know. It's like a free for all. It could be Piper, it could be Lauren, it could be
Yeah,
Mari, like what's in like the top 8.
yeah.
Um,
I think
but yeah.
that Mari's going to get put on a 2-on-1. I
With
could see her.
who though?
No, but not because I think by the time there's a 2-on-1, I think all the mean girls are going to be gone. I think Anna, Victoria, they're all going to be gone by the time I don't think Victoria's going on a 2-on-1. I think they'll do a 2-on-1 when there's like 10 left. So Mari will go with whoever. I don't think it'll be a mean girl one with Lauren or Piper or whoever. Like, and just that's it. Because it's just Mari. I feel bad, but it's just not.
It's not there, obviously. So yeah, she's going to go soon. I just don't know where in the process. But there's so many other girls who are just there that we know are not going to make it. It's like the top 8 are typically the easiest. I mean, I forgot Chelsea. It's really like top 10. I think we got our top 10 probably, right?
We definitely have 10. I would say we have 9 to 10, 8 to 10. We're definitely there, and then the rest, it's like we'll see where you land. But
yeah,
right now we're at 20, so yeah, a lot of these girls, they're not. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they got to just kind of get through it. Katie's probably in the top 10 too.
Kate, for sure.
Yeah, she might be 10.
I'm gonna say maybe 8 or so, just because I think now she's like the truth teller. Nobody else is really standing, unless somebody else like really stands up and trusts their opinion who's not in it. But I think he's going to keep her around for a little bit. But we'll see. I know that she's definitely somebody 100% she'll be on Paradise, so we'll see
for sure.
There's some girls who are like, oh, we'll definitely see them, and I hope we do. Like Mari, I think she would thrive on Paradise. I think those guys would
love her. Yeah.
So I hope we see a lot of them and not that many people from Peter's season, because I don't want to see those girls.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even know if they should bring people on that's from that far away or from that long ago. But so in terms of like the last part of the episode, how do you feel about the fact that Katie brought it up? Because typically, like, like the law of the Bachelor is like to keep the Bachelor out of the drama. And everyone keeps saying that, like they don't need to know what's going on. You got to deal with it, right? So how do you feel about the fact that she pulled him aside? And it looked like the night was over. Like he was doing an interview and she was like, she just left and went to go talk to him. So how do you feel about that?
I felt like she did very much so the right thing. Because when you look at last week with the Sarah stuff, yes, it was bullying and it was bad, but I think Katie thought, hey, like I can handle this. I can go talk to her solo and then she's going to go talk to Matt, whatever. But Katie realized quickly that this was something like, oh, and also Katie's a super fan of the show. She said this on some of these podcasts.
Yep.
She knows the show. So she already knows that they're going to take this storyline and run with it. And she's like, now people's lives could possibly be, because again, we don't know how far this escort thing's going to go. But as soon as you hear the word escort, people are slut shaming you on the internet. So she's like, okay, maybe I should go. I think she 100% did the right thing. And also she's like the first person I can remember in a while who went and like tattletale to the lead where it was something that was actually important. Normally people go to the lead and say this girl is bullying me when they're never being freaking bullied, or this about herself. She's going about other women. So I think that she did a great job. She waited till it literally was like she couldn't do anything else about it. She tried to talk to Victoria about it. That wasn't working. She kept saying in the group setting, like, hey guys, nobody's listening. So okay, fine. I'm gonna go to Matt. I think she did the right thing. What do you think?
At first I was like, no, snitches. But then I started thinking, I mean, you're right. How she framed it, their livelihood is this is something that goes beyond the Bachelor. I also I don't know this girl, but just how she's poised herself throughout this entire process, I feel like I trust her judgment. I can't say that I trust, in the years of the show, that just by seeing a contestant, I could say that I trust their judgment. But she's shown, and how I've heard her talk in different interviews, that she really cares about women, and she just seems like she has a good head on her shoulders. So I think that she did the right thing. I should think she framed it a great way. And I also appreciated that she didn't tie it back to her, because these girls are wild, and I just feel like if this were someone else, they could have spun it to their advantage, and it didn't seem like she was really doing that either. It was strictly for the livelihood of the girls and bullying in general, and I really hope that he does something about it, because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And even honestly, she could have said, oh, and by the way, Victoria was bullying me, because Victoria did bully her.
Yep.
Victoria was insane in that conversation. And she didn't say anything about her because that was something that she could handle. Katie knows how to handle people like Victoria. But and I'm not saying that Brittany can't handle herself, but I think Brittany was so shocked by everything that was happening. It was like, I don't think she really knew what to do. So it's like, no, I'm gonna stand up for this girl who you guys are now talking crap about for no reason. I thought she did a great job. She's a freaking killer. You know what I would love to see her do? You know Wells' job at Paradise, to be the bartender at Paradise? I would love for her to be the bartender at Paradise. I feel like she'd be
like,
so fun.
Yeah, like Wells, and
Yeah.
just like talk to people about their issues. Yeah. But see, Wells is engaged and he's good. That's why he's not on the show. So I want Katie to find love though. After she finds love, then she could be the bartender. But you're right.
Totally agree. And I definitely think she's gonna go on the season. I hope she finds love. I definitely hope that they do not bring Victoria. I hope that her name is so slandered that they literally can't bring her. Because Victoria, if they ask, she'll go. But like someone like Anna, she's never gonna go because she understands, unless she has like this crazy apology tour, like people are really gonna hate Anna because they just think of Victoria. This isn't right, but they think of her as like a cartoon character, and it's like whatever. But Anna, it's like you really are believing thing, and like it's really strange. And then I hated that she started her whole conversation with, I don't know her, but okay, so if you don't know her,
why open your mouth? You know,
it was really bad. Oh, don't forget, we still have Heather. Heather is coming at some point. I thought, well, maybe I guess I didn't, because we did see the pictures before, but I kind of thought she was going to be in that limo, and she wasn't. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, I did think so too.
But we still have her to come, which is just like, oh.
No, I think he's going to be like, why is she here? And then be like, yeah, this is not, like, I don't see you in that way. I'm already far along with girls. I'm already falling in love with girls. And this is not the point where you should be here. He's going to be hard for him because he doesn't seem like he has direct conversations like that. But I don't think she's going to be there for long. It's probably going to be like, she gets off the limo. He's like, and then tells her to turn around.
I agree. Okay. So that was it for the one-on-one. So great. Even their makeout sessions were great. I thought like nothing was cringy. It just felt like they were in a relationship and they literally met the day before. I can't get over it. It was just so cute. I loved it. So then we get the second date, the group date with the boxing. Now on this group date, it was,
oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Wow.
So on this group date, it was Katie, Piper, both of the Serenas, Rachel, Kit, Chelsea, Jasenia, Lauren, and MJ. So now this whole group is a group full of OGs, which I think the producers knew what they were doing, because if one of those new girls would have been there, they would have knocked them out to the ground, because they were knocking each other out. It was actually scary, but like if they would have had Brittany on that date, no, like I wouldn't have trusted like Serena C or anybody around her at all. So the date seemed like it got out of hand quickly because a couple rounds went, and Wells was there, which was nice. We saw Wells for that was really nice. But it went on for, there were, how many people went? 4 different groups went, and they shut it off. They're like, no. And that was when Serena P got hit in the face. By Lauren. Lauren hit her in the face.
Yeah, when he was like, no, we got to shut it down. I'm like, of course it had to be because someone that he liked got hit.
Exactly. If MJ would have got hit in the face,
I don't know if he would have. See, and I need between that Sarah thing that you mentioned last week about like if that were somebody else, he probably wouldn't have done it. And now look, now Serena P got hit, and then he keeps claiming like, oh, I would have done it for any woman. But it's just, we can see consistently that there are certain people that you're standing up for. So I don't know.
To be fair, this is kind of how life works. Like if I see my best friend getting beat up on the side of the road, I'm gonna help them before I help, some girl who, it's the way things go. You have your favorites, you don't have your favorite, whatever. It's not right, but I think if, like I said, if MJ or better yet, if Anna would have got hit in the face, please, he would have looked at her like, next, go to the next one. Are you okay? Okay.
You good? Get her ice pack. Get her, Chris, get her ice pack. All right, next.
I always forget how small Serena is, because when he hugged her, he literally wrapped his whole self, like you couldn't even see her anymore. She was just wrapped up in him. He felt so bad. I felt so sad. I'm telling you, when they break up It's not gonna be a good breakup. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. She's gonna be so upset.
She's gonna be
Oh,
sad. But I don't know
God.
how sad, just because it seems like she was on the show, yes, to find love, but I think she's surprised. She was so surprised that she liked him. And I think her family's going to be so surprised that she got that far. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. She's going to be upset, but I think she'll be all right.
Very true. I think the person who would be the most upset, obviously, is Rachel, and I don't think she'll have to do that because she's going to win. But we'll see. We'll see. But
agreed.
And so they moved to the night portion, but I don't really. Did it stop at the night? Oh, it did, because Katie went in. And said.
Yeah.
So
honestly, I forgot about really the night portion. That's why I started talking about Katie ending, because I was like, wait a second, I forgot this whole date happened.
No, I mean, it didn't really happen. They got some punches in. They were really going too hard, and then nothing really happened in the night. I don't even know if we saw who got the group rose. Did we?
I don't think so.
No, I didn't write.
Yeah, I don't think so. I hope
that's
Katie
weird, because I feel like he was doing an interview like they were done. Well, who else is gonna get it? She probably will get it, honestly. I don't know who else would get it. So I bet you
it would have to be Katie at this point.
Yeah. And Katie she even went as far to say, if you could address everybody when everyone's together next time. So she was like, hey, the whole group got to be here to, like, she laid down the law, and I just think she freaking killed it. She was definitely the all-star of the episode for me. I thought she
really, honestly, the last two, she's just been great. She's just she's a standout, just a great person. You can just tell.
She's such a classy lady. She's such a classy lady who is also like, hey, women, do whatever you want with your bodies. Don't let people shame you and call you hoes like Victoria's doing every other day. Like, it's because remember Victoria tried to shame her for the vibrator. She's like, oh, and you're so classy. You brought a vibrator on the first. It's like, excuse me, don't shame me. For doing something that she brought that. Like, don't shame me. So I just love her.
Yeah, Victoria really gets my nerves. And you know what I was thinking? This was kind of completely off topic. Well, not really, but MJ, cute girl, but I didn't realize that she was a hairdresser. Now I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused. That's all I'm gonna say. She's cute, but I'm a little confused. When I saw this episode, I'm like, wait, what? Like, I was like, wait, okay. I don't think it's going to help her get any clients.
Yeah, I will agree. It's a little, I mean, her hair, she has beautiful hair.
Oh, her hair is gorgeous. But I was just very surprised. Like, for me, when I think of a hairdresser, and that should be at the bottom of your bio, I think of Claire. Right? Claire always had the beautiful, like, ocean weight, and she was a hairdresser. Listen, if I had white girl hair like that, I'd be like, if I was in San Francisco or Sacramento or wherever she is, let me go to Claire's salon, because I know she can do hair well.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, that's a profession I would have thought she had at all.
No.
So that surprised me. But I will say she was the one in the Mean Girls group, because the Mean Girls group, the top two are Anna and Victoria, obviously. Then right underneath we have like Serena C and MJ right underneath. And I'm like, MJ's doing a lot of weird, like, just strange. Like, even last week when they all ganged up on Sarah, and Sarah was like, MJ, can I talk to you? She's like, I just need a minute to cool down. Cool down from what? Like, why are you so mad? Because last week, the only person who really should have been mad was Katie, if she was even, because she was the one who got her time interrupted. MJ, why are you mad? Like, you're just mad because you want to be mad. That's it. And it's like, I don't know. So I thought she was great. Like, I thought she was going to be a shining star, but I'm not feeling it. And I just feel like a lot of these girls are going to be painted in a bad way. And I don't know if, like, the grown men from Tayshia's season will really be into, like, that type of attitude from a 23-year-old brat. Like, I don't know. That's why I think they're going to bring in some people from not Hannah Brown's season or something, because I don't know who from Tayshia, like, who's going to tolerate people like MJ and Serena C, who I think is so cute, but Serena C had a lot of mean things to say to Sarah. I didn't like it.
Wait, you don't mean Hannah Brown season? You mean who was the last Bachelor? Peter season?
but those are women. So I'm talking about other men. Hannah
Oh,
Brown's
you mean men for. Got it. Yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't get they didn't get to go in Paradise. So I'm assuming they're choosing from those 4 groups: Hannah Brown,
Mm,
Tayshia / Claire, and Matt James.
mm.
And I did see one of the producers say, which I wrote on Instagram. Check out our Instagram. That it said the producer said it was going to be a supersized Bachelor in Paradise, meaning they're going to bring in about 50 people.
Oh, I
I would
hope
assume.
so.
Like,
Ooh,
bring everybody in.
bring
Bring them
everybody.
all.
Let's just see.
Even like Peter Weber, those final 4 from Pilot Pete season, I think they're all single. They're all best friends. Maddie, Hannah, Victoria Fuller, and that other girl, Kelsey. They're all best friends. I think they're all single, so they're all gonna come. Like I'm sure a lot of people from Peter season will come. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
that'd
Hannah
be
Brown,
good.
I didn't do much, but we'll see. I think it's gonna be huge. This group of girls, there's so many nasty ones that like I don't
Yeah.
know what men will want to, but there's also some nice ones. Like I don't know if Brie would go or like, but if
I don't
those
know
girls
if
get to go too, they would be.
right. I don't know if like the girls
Yeah.
who we think are going to be in his top 5 will go, but probably the top 10. But you know what I just remembered? Hannah Brown's season was on The Last Bachelor in Paradise.
Were they?
Yeah, because Mike, who was in the podcast with Rachel's husband, he
Mm-hmm.
was on Paradise. And I think he tried to connect with Tisha when she was on Paradise. So I'm pretty sure when I
Oh,
watched it last. Do you remember that?
no, I don't.
Yeah, because Mike was on Hannah Brown's season.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who was the Bachelor? So there was no Bachelorette after Peter. They didn't do a Bachelorette after Peter.
It was
Hannah
Claire.
was before Peter.
Yep.
After, yeah, okay. I'm thinking that they did Peter, then they did Hannah. It was Hannah
Mm-mm.
then Peter. That's
Yeah,
why.
Peter was on Hannah's
Hannah.
season.
Okay. Well, I would still assume they have to choose some men from there because that's the most recent men they have, other than Tayshia's people, or unless
Yeah.
they put everybody from Tayshia's on there, which is fine. I'm fine with that.
She had
Because I'm sure all
some
those
young
guys like
guys.
Ben, some young guys. Spencer, I think Spencer will do great on there.
Yeah.
You know, he might connect with one of these like MJs or somebody like that. I could see that. But they said supersized, so I'm like, oof. And I feel like a lot of girls like from Peter season / this season are going to be begging to be on it, so they're going to need to find men to go on too.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a lot of girls that would do well or would be entertaining enough. To be honest. So, but we'll see. I mean, I'm excited. Let's see when I guess we won't even see it until like this time next year, right?
No, we'll see in the summer. They're gonna do
Oh, they're doing it
Bachelorette.
now?
No, right now they're probably about to do Bachelorette. They're probably about to start filming
Mhm.
Bachelorette. We'll see that in like April, and then by summer we'll see Paradise.
Mm.
So
Well,
a lot of Bachelor content.
yeah, a lot of Bachelor content. Well,
Anybody who is your person that you think is going to be the Bachelorette?
I
The
mean,
only
based
thing
off
is they're not gonna let 3 black people go in a row. No way.
no, so it's. I mean, it would have to be Abigail, so they can define what diversity means outside of race.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Because
it
even
has to be her.
I don't even know like if we didn't even do black, if we did POC, like they're not picking Mari to do it.
They're not
They're
picking
not.
Serena P. She's too young. They're not picking Michelle, I'm sure. Um, if she doesn't win. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to pick Brie.
No,
It's
and I
it's
don't.
going
I
to end
think
up being the Abigail. No, and you
yeah,
could tell by the way like they set up her bio so weird. Before the season was starting, like she's one of the sweetest girls you'll ever meet. Like they were really trying to get people to like her outside of just because she's a great girl. But so they're probably really trying to set that up. Like she needs to be the next one. But I don't know if people are really gonna want that. I don't know. Honestly,
I
all these girls are annoying. Most of them are annoying to me. So I don't know if I would really.
my pick is also Abigail, but to be fair, I'm basing it off of night 1 because I
If
don't
she is in
have.
the 5, right?
Yeah, like I'm basing her
Mm-hmm.
Bachelorette if she becomes a Bachelorette off of the night 1. I thought she had a great night 1. of course, yes, I thought she was connected to Matt, but also like she's a conversationalist. She has things to talk about. She's like funny, even when they did their ear thing, like she's funny a little bit. Like she's set up perfect, but then like we never see her. So it's like, I don't know. Like we never see her. So hopefully next week we see her a little bit more. But
Yeah.
out of this, I don't know who they would pick. And even if they wanted to go back in time and pick a Peter Weber person, there's nobody from that season other than the
Maddie.
girl who. No, they thought apparently this was, and this I do want us to do an episode where we like do all this Bachelor tea, because I, now that we follow all these things, I see all this stuff. Apparently, everybody who came to see Tayshia at La Quinta, like Rachel and Sydney and all Becca, somebody else was there who we never saw, which was Hannah Ann. Which is very odd because Hannah Ann is not Tayshia's friend. They're not from the same season. Why would she be there to host a date? She didn't even, I guess she did win, but whatever. So like people thought she was there because they were either gonna pick her or Tayshia to take Claire's spot. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, the internet's acting
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that makes sense. But her and Hannah and her and Tayshia are on a podcast together. So maybe they are friends.
Maybe. Okay. So maybe they are. But it was a big rumor that she could be the Bachelorette. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if I'm feeling that. I'm
I'm
not really feeling that. I'd rather have the Madison girl be the Bachelorette, the one who I forgot what happened in that season. He picked Matt. Who did he pick?
He picked Hannah. He picked Hannah Ann, but then he went to Maddie like 2 weeks later.
No.
That was a bad. Oh, and also in other Bachelor news, Peter and Kelly broke up, and Kelly is out here telling all the tabloids that she wants to go to Paradise. Okay, whatever.
No, she said she wouldn't mind being the Bachelorette.
Oh, even
I saw that too.
Oh, I heard Paradise.
Yeah, I saw that. She's like, I wouldn't mind being the Bachelorette. Like, what? You know what? I don't know. These girls are bold. These girls are bold. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all this stupid drama. I'm sick. I just want them to get girls who are regular girls who apply via audition, casting tape, who aren't out here looking for more followers. I appreciate the fact that people are, trying to come up and getting their coins other ways. I appreciate it, but I think that there's a lack of integrity now in the show. And if I was a lead, I'd be nervous. And maybe it's a thing where like Matt was chosen based off of this new process that they have via Instagram and the popularity. But there's something now about these girls that's just getting on my nerves. They're too young now. They're these Instagram models, influencers. I just want regular girls who are looking for love, who just want to, really be with the Bachelor. I'm sick of it. It's getting on my nerves.
I agree. I just think that is harder and harder to find now because everyone wants to come up, which again, like you said, that's fine and that's whatever. But it's like, it seems like everybody knows what this show can do for you. Like, I mean, look at Caitlin Bristow is like the best example. She said forever that she went on that show to better her life. She did not go on that show for love. Of course, she was open to it. But she went on that show with other motives. She wanted to be a dancer and she wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars. That's been her dream since she was a child, to be on Dancing with the Stars. And she did it. So like the fact that she like made all this stuff for herself, I mean, it's great, I guess. And she stumbled into love later and all this stuff. So it did work for her. But it's like, I feel like since then, and that was, Caitlin Bristow was what, 7 years? I don't even know how long ago she was.
Yes, over 5 years
before
now.
The internet was even like humongous. This wasn't even influencer time, but she knew her path and she got there. Then she got to be the Bachelorette and all this stuff. It just seems like since then, it's like everybody, they get big come ups. It's huge. So I get it, and I think when you're in the bubble, you really do care and you really do want to. Most people. But also it just seems like, according to like Nick, he said that a lot of girls from his season, especially the girls who left early, apparently as soon as they left, they were like texting producers saying, hey, like, how do I get on Paradise type of thing. So it's like, as soon as you get off, all you're thinking about is Paradise, because Paradise could possibly lead you to the Bachelorette or lead you to being an influencer or lead you to wearing bikinis on TV. It's like, Come on, this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I can't stand it. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see.
That's why I think seeing Michelle was just like, wow, like this lady has a normal job that's helping people, and she just seems like she's there for love, and it's
Mm-hmm.
working.
Genuine. Yeah. And even like, and I haven't been on Rachel's Instagram, so I don't know. But she seems like she really just like is obsessed with him for whatever reason. But I don't get like a not genuine vibe from her either yet. Um, Bree's bio was a little weird, and I think she's in marketing. All those girls who are in marketing, I think is a little sus. Obviously, Serena was just like, I'm just going to go on here for fun. So I just feel a little weird about some of the girls, even the girls who are in its top. But you're right, Michelle. I did feel like she was there for Matt. So genuine. I'm here to find love. Let's see if it's going to work. And she's like, oh crap, this could actually work.
Yep, I loved it.
Yeah,
Loved
me too.
it. So I think that's it. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Nope. I think that's it for this episode. I guess we'll see what happens next week. I just hope it's not too long of, too drama filled talking about this escort. I just want to move past it and get to like, like the real connections. Like, oh, I just want all these girls to go and let's just get to our top 10.
Yeah, I think another big reason, because right now we're at week 4 and there's 20 women. That is ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
just insane. But they don't have to travel anywhere. So it's
Mm.
like they don't have to lug people around. So maybe they're just like, oh, like to make it more drama filled, we'll just leave these girls in the house. Matt already likes who he likes anyway. So the girls who are left
Yeah.
in the dust, whether they're in the house or not, he doesn't care. So it's like, okay, keep as
Mm-hmm.
many girls. I just assume that we're gonna get to like week 6 and like 8 girls are gonna go home. It's just gonna be like, go. Like sending girls home left and right, sending them home on group dates, sending them home everywhere. Like just go, get out of here. And I want that to happen soon because that whole Mean Girl clique, they can all go.
Yeah, they
They
all
can
gotta
all go.
go.
Yeah, they're terrible. But other than that, I hope next week is a little bit better. Less of that, more connections, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping for Rachel or Abigail one-on-one. And that's it.
That is it. Well,
Okay.
I guess this concludes this episode of Black Girls Gab. Until next time, like, subscribe, tell us what type of shows you're watching. And that's it. Talk next time.
Bye.
Bye.